Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special report. This is Red Card speaking. Next weekend is BronyCon 2017 in Baltimore. The festivities are going to start on Thursday. The convention starts on Friday. Will go until Sunday. That's Friday, August 11th through Sunday, August 13th. The first, I have a lot of topics that, well, not a lot of topics, but a couple of topics that I want to cover in this informational video about what's on tap for next weekend. First of all, are the registration hours and location. Pre-registration pickup is on Thursday, August 10th, from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m. Again, that's pre-reg only. The pre-reg line will form, from what I know at this time, outside the Baltimore Convention Center entrance at Charles Street. That's the Charles Street entrance of the Baltimore Convention Center. It's the same place where the pre-reg line was last year, and it's going to be there. It's going to be there again this year. Second thing I want to cover is guests of honor that are going to be attending this weekend. First, you have the voice of Apple Bloom, Michelle Creber. She's going to be accompanied by Gabriel Brown, aka Black Griffin. He's a musician, as well as Monique and Michael Creber. And then you have Claire Corlett, who's the voice of Sweetie Belle, accompanied by her father, Ian James Corlett, who is the voice of Goku on the Saban dub of Dragon Ball Z, as well as Silver Shill in a Season 4 episode of My Little Pony. And then you have Madeline Peters, voice of Scootaloo, accompanied by her father, Blair Peters, who is also the co-founder of Studio B Productions before it merged with DHX Media. And then to complete the set of Cutie Mark Crusader voices, Brina Drummond, the voice of Bab Seed, accompanied by Brian Drummond, her father, who is also the voice of Vegeta on the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, and Filthy Rich on My Little Pony. And then you have Kathy Westluck, who's the voice of Spike, Kelly Sheridan, the voice of Starlight Glimmer, and Kyle Rideout, the voice of Thorax. One more, you have Vincent Tong, who is the voice of Flash Sentry in various My Little Pony episodes, as well as the Equestria Girls movies and specials. That wraps up the voice actors' VIP guests of honor. Two people involved with the IDW My Little Pony comics, Tony Fleeks and Andy Price, are also going to be in attendance. And then finally, the last guest of honor is Daniel Ingram, who's the songwriter for the series and the Equestria Girls movies. That wraps up the list for the guests of honor. Now, next thing I want to get to is BronyPalooza. Personally, I'm not going to be attending any BronyPalooza. That's not in my plans. I'll get to my schedule in just a moment. BronyPalooza is going to be taking place for much of the night on Friday, August 11th, and Saturday night, August 12th. BronyPalooza is back in the main events hall. The main events hall this year is going to be not in the 400 level ballroom, but on the 100 level Hall B, which is right next door to the registration hall. The lineup for Friday's BronyPalooza is going to be the Wonderbolt at 8 p.m. At 8:35 p.m., you have Violet. You have Changeling at, I hope again, don't shoot the messenger if I pronounce these wrong, because a lot of some of these I've never heard of. Changeling at 9:10 p.m., Scratch Attack at 10 p.m., Taps at 10:50 p.m., Tetsuo is going to go on at 11:40 p.m., and Silverhound is the piece de resistance of Friday night's BronyPalooza. He will be going on at 12:30 a.m. On Saturday's edition of BronyPalooza. You have the Shake-Ups in Ponyville going on at 8:30 p.m. Then you have Michelle Creeper and Black Griffin at 9:10 p.m. Cyril the Wolf at 10:15 p.m. At 11:05 p.m. you have Additive Subtractive going on. Your Enigma at 11:40 p.m. Garnica at 12:15 a.m. And then Alex S. will conclude BronyPalooza. He will go on at 1:05 a.m. The next thing I want to get to is the schedule that I personally have planned for this weekend. Of course, at 10 a.m. on Friday, opening ceremonies. I'm not going to miss that. At 11 a.m. in the Hall of the Moon on Friday, there's a panel called Ask a Draconequus, described on the BronyCon's website. Prepare yourselves, punny mortals, for some chaos as Discord answers fan questions in a Q&A cosplay character acting panel. That panel will happen at 11 a.m. until noon on Friday. And then at 12:30 p.m. is going to be Riffing is Magic. That's also going to be in the Hall of the Moon. Laugh along as the most notorious episodes from the My Little Pony franchise are torn limb from limb by a panel of riffing commentators. ACRacebest and Saberspark are obviously going to be on that panel. Probably Paleo Steno as well, and then a couple more. Maybe Black Griffin as well. That's I'm only going to be there for half of that panel, and then at one that panel as Riffing is Magic begins at 12:30 p.m. That goes until 1:30 p.m. But at 1 p.m. in the main events hall, the art of the maniacal laugh, voicing villains. This is a voice actors panel. Which will include Vincent Tong, Kelly Sheridan, Kyle Rideout, and Brian Drummond. Vanquish your vocal vexations as Vincent, Kelly, Kyle, and Brian lift the veil over voicing villains. That is in the main events hall at 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. And then in the main events hall at 2:30 p.m., I will be attending. Correction. That the next panel is from 2:45 until 3:45 p.m. Cutie Mark Crusaders panel. Yay! This is another voice actors panel featuring all the Cutie Mark Crusader voice actors. Hear the voices behind your favorite problem-solving fillies. Tell you a bit about themselves, their characters, and how the personalities of the two intertwine. That's in the main events hall at 2:45 p.m. until 3:45 p.m. featuring Michelle Creeper, Claire Corlett, Maddie Peters, and Brina Drummond. Then there's a little bit of a break between that panel and the 5 o'clock hour. At 5 p.m. in the Hall of the Sun, it's Fluttershy's Tea Party 101. That's also going to be headed by a couple of my friends from the part of the cosplay crew for the gala. This panel is described as Fluttershy and her pals are throwing a tea party just for you. Learn manners with Rarity, history from Twilight, and watch Discord and Pinkie Pie devour piles of cucumber sandwiches. That is in the Hall of the Sun from 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. on Friday night. And then at 8 p.m. on Friday night, also in the Hall of the Sun, the Bronies React panel. That's from 9 until... Correction, that's from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. Bronies React is a YouTube series that brings together some of the community's most recognizable names with comedy, gags, and laughs all around. You never truly know what will happen. Will feature some notable names from Brony's React, such as ACRacebest, Saberspark, Paleo Steno, probably Tommy Oliver, and Dusty Cat, probably. in the Hall of the Sun at 8 p.m. on Friday night. And then the rest of the night is going to be in the Hall of the Sun at 9:30 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. It's in the Hall of the Sun, the Ask a Pony panel around the campfire. This will feature a couple cosplayers such as Serendipity cosplay, Drowning in Rice cosplay, Silver Lining cosplay, Blue, Shelbini, and also introducing cosplaying as as Sunset Shimmer, Mademoiselle, and then that panel will be in the Hall of the Sun from 9:30 until 10:30 p.m. Gather round the campfire with the main six, Sunset Shimmer and Spike, as they share the magic of Everfree. These Canterlot High students will showcase kid-friendly interactive camp activities, followed by a Q&A. And then, after that panel, at 11:30 p.m., in the Hall of the Sun, from 11:30 p.m. until 1:30 a.m., it's the premiere of Ponies the Anthology 6. Be the first to witness the 6th installment of the Ponies the Anthology series, a 1-hour video compilation of MLP jokes, parodies, and pop culture references. Consider camping in line the night before to guarantee a seat. Last year, this panel was in the main events hall, which was in the 400 level ballroom, which was absolutely enormous in size. So a lot of people were able to fit in there. So, word to the wise: if you want to go to that panel, get in line early because it's going to be packed. I can already tell. That's it for Friday's schedule. On Saturday, on August 12th, the first thing I'll be attending, or planning on attending, in the Hall of the Moon at 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. is Saturday morning ponies. This panel has been on this same day at this same time for the past at least the past 3 or 4 years, at this same time, in this same location, with the same concept. Kick off your Saturday with some old school cartoon goodness. It's your favorite faux Disney shows played out by your favorite pony. So Disney is going to be the focus. Is going to be the audible focus of Saturday morning ponies this year. Judging by what the description says on the website. And then after that panel at 11:45 a.m. until 12:45 p.m., the music of Equestria panel in the main events hall. Daniel Ingram, Michelle Krieber, and Gabriel Brown, Black Griffin, talk about all your favorite sing-alongs from the time they were they're first envisioned to when you hear them on Saturday morning. This panel will be hosted by Monique Krieber, Michelle Krieber's mom. That is from 11:45 until 11:45 a.m. until 12:45 p.m. in the main events hall on Saturday morning. And then there's a bit of a break in my schedule between the time of 12:45 p.m. until 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. on Saturday, there's the Hoove's Line Is It Anyway panel. This is always a treat. This is in the main events hall. This is featuring personalities like ACRacebest, Saberspark, possibly Black Griffin, and one other guest of honor. That's going to be in the main events hall from 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. It might go longer because it usually goes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, but that's just what the schedule says, so we'll see. This panel, join Saberspark, ACRacebest, and others as they strut their stuff and pretend to be funny. Who knows? You might even be pulled onto stage to join in on the fun. And then there's a break between 6 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. At 9:30 p.m., it's the annual Grand Galloping Gala. This year, it's not in the main events hall because the main events hall is going to be occupied by BronyPalooza. This year, it's going to be in the Hall of the Sun. This is the seminal event of the weekend for a number of people. This will feature personalities like Escanova Cosplay, Lady Ava Cosplay, Serendipity Cosplay, Drowning in Rice Cosplay, Silver Lining Cosplay, Shelbini Cosplay, and many others. Princess Twilight Sparkle and Filthy Rich cordially invite you to their Masquerade Charity Ball. So in an attempt to raise money for the reparations of Main Street, the Main Six will be performing in their variety show as you waltz the night away. Formal attire is required for this event. For the full dress code for the gala, you can go to the page BronyCon.org/gala. The premise for this year's gala is going to be a little bit different. It's a masquerade. I personally do not have a mask to wear, so. And plus, I need to see what I'm doing to film. I'll be able to see what I'm doing even if I am wearing a mask. So that's the last event on my schedule for Saturday night. On Sunday, the last day of BronyCon, August 13th, a little bit different timing for this one. Usually this one is on Friday, and this one's on the first thing on Sunday morning. The Ponies Court at 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. Order in the court. Judge Twilight Sparkle has returned as Ponyville's court judge and summons you for jury duty. Come question the witnesses and help serve justice. That is in the Hall of the Sun at 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. on Sunday. And then at 11:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. in the Hall of the Stars, Pony Cosplay and Design 101. This panel will be hosted by Lady Ava Cosplay. She does this panel every year at various pony conventions, such as she did at PhillyCon last August and at PonyCon this past January. So that's going to be at 11:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. on Sunday. And then on, at 1:30 p.m. in the main events hall until 3:30 p.m. the fifth annual BronyCon charity auction to raise money for Cure Search for children's cancer. For the fifth consecutive year, BronyCon is raising money to benefit children's cancer research. Come and support this great cause and bid on some credible one-of-a-kind pony items in our charity auction. All proceeds go to Cure Search for children's cancer. This is in the main events hall from 1:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. That is the last event in the main events hall before closing ceremonies, which will be in the main events hall at 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. The schedule that I have just announced is subject to change without warning. So just because I mention these panels that I plan on going to, just means that I plan on going to them. Doesn't necessarily mean that I am a guarantee to attend those panels. I may change my mind and go someplace else. So don't bet on me being there. That is my schedule for this year's BronyCon. The schedule for this year's BronyCon is available on BronyCon's website. You can go to BronyCon.org/events BronyCon.com/schedule, or you can also get the schedule and other convention information right now on the guidebook app, which is available for download on Apple and Android mobile devices. This is pretty much all I have to say for a BronyCon. Also, during the pre-reg, in front of the pre-reg line on Thursday, I am planning on showing off a. For some of you who don't know, like ACRacebest, I'm a big racing fan, a big NASCAR fan, and so I decided to wear this official's suit and bring this car around to the pre-reg line. If you want to, feel free to take a picture of it or with me, and feel free to post it onto social media. Be sure to tag me in it at redcard94 on Twitter, or on Facebook at redcardpmv. My Twitter username is also the same as my Instagram username. So if you want to post it on Instagram, use the same as my Twitter username. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this year's BronyCon. BronyCon will go from August 11th, Friday, to Sunday, August 13th. So opening ceremonies will take place at 10 a.m. in the main events hall on Friday. So for my 5th consecutive year, I'm going to BronyCon. I hope to have met very many more. I hope to see a lot of you there. So until then, you know who you are, you know what you do, and this is Redcard signing off. See you guys in less than a week in Baltimore. Goodbye, guys.